Hi, it's Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky, and I am back with my plans and pans. Well, once again, I'm interested in product safety, especially for our children, and I feel that we are really too unprotected. And what we know right now is that recalled and banned items are being offered for sale right now online. Products that we know have been connected to, in one case, up to 100 deaths of children. And that has to do with products like the Fisher-Price Rock and Play Sleeper that is being offered on Facebook Marketplace. So you can go and find, even though these items have been recalled and we know them to be dangerous. So that is why I sent a letter to about a dozen different companies that have these online marketplaces to say, you have got to stop selling and offering for sale, even though it's not your product, you're putting that product online to be bought by consumers who are not aware of the dangers. Now, the manufacturers themselves already know about the recalls, but I have a problem there too, because you know how much money is spent on advertising products for children. Well, how much money is spent on asking for a recall when some danger is there in the product? Not so much. I am, and others are calling on these marketplaces to make sure that they are no longer advertising those products. I want to put the major responsibility on the manufacturers and the sellers, but also you can go to saferproducts.gov and find out what has been recalled before you put them in front of your own children. The Consumer Product Safety Commission, which I work very, very closely, is a very important agency to protect us and all consumers and all children from dangerous products, but it is pretty desperately underfunded and understaffed. And I am really disappointed that the Republicans right now in the appropriations process have voted to take $13 million from the funding for the CPSC over what we had last year, making it even weaker. We need to add more resources, more funding, more people to be able to protect us. I had the privilege this week of also going out to Crystal Lake. It is in McHenry County. It's the largest municipality within McHenry County. And I was able to meet with the mayor, with the city manager. My staff was with me, able to talk to them about what their needs are. They could tell us and we could say what we could offer to do to help them as much as we could. And I had two of my constituent service staffers talk to them about making sure that they will send to us in our office, since I now represent them, consumer complaints to see if we can solve problems in their area. Tell people, don't go crazy, call Schakowsky. Then we met with members of the Chamber of Commerce and had a nice lunch with them to talk about what the business community is interested in. Met with two women who are very concerned about unscrupulous breeders of dogs. I'm a dog person, you know that. And we got into the kinds of things that we need maybe in regulation to make that breeders are not taking advantage of and selling dogs that actually shouldn't be put into households. But one of the highlights for me was the ability to go to what is called the Three Oaks recreational area. So in Crystal Lake, a long time ago, there was a quarry, a big quarry. And what Crystal Lake did was turn it into this incredible, a couple of lakes that you can go to, and it's free to people from Crystal Lake. One is a beach, and you can swim more than you might imagine. It goes down 40 feet. You can even do some scuba diving. Another part of a lake right around the corner that has boats for fishing. You can fish, you can catch, but then you have to put it back in. It is absolutely magnificent. This is in addition, of course, to Crystal Lake itself, which is a real lake and another recreational area, an open area. It's just beautiful there. Another great thing about being back in the district, I was able to see quite an amazing manufacturing plant and a research plant called MicroLink Devices. This really is groundbreaking work that they are doing. This company developed solar cells and sheets. Sheets so thin it's more like saran wrap. It is very important in terms of military applications and being actually able, because it's so thin, to go up into space. They are mostly in the development stage, but moving toward manufacturing right now. They have gotten some support from the Department of Defense and certainly encouragement to go further. And it was really a pleasure to see what they are doing to be on the frontier of producing future solar capacities that we don't have right now, all solar. I met Dr. Noren Han, who developed this idea, just a genius who has been in the field of innovation for a long time, but who set up this company. Now they have 55 employees in Niles, but are definitely looking to expand. And I had the pleasure, along with the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, to cut the ribbon for a new portion of this plant that is growing. And I am very excited about learning about it and looking forward to opportunities to try and help them. So I want to talk to you about the very important issue of dense breasts. The normal mammogram does not identify a dense breast. It is important because 71% of women who get breast cancer are women who have dense breasts. And only about 30% of women are even aware of that issue. So I met with a remarkable woman who, yes, had breast cancer, was not aware at the time that she had dense breasts. And her name is Leslie, and she founded a not-for-profit organization that's called My Density Matters. And her goal is to alert women. So when you find out that you have dense breasts, and you then want to find out if everything's okay, you find out that the cost to make that determination can be $800 or more. In other words, even though the Affordable Care Act said that these kinds of screenings should be at no cost, it doesn't apply then for the many women who need to have an examination and a diagnosis based on their having dense breasts. We should make sure that that kind of screening is available to all women. As a person who does have dense breasts, I really want to encourage you to find out. Ask the person who is doing the mammogram if that person might know. Talk to your doctor. Over the next year, there is going to be a requirement that a letter gets sent out if it is found that you have a dense breast, but that's another year. So do your research, and in the meantime, we're going to be fighting to make sure that you will be able to get that screening at no cost. That's my goal right now. Then I met with the regional leaders of the letter carriers, the people who deliver your mail every day. And the top issue that we discussed is that increasingly letter carriers are in danger when they are walking the streets. We have seen letter carriers attacked. We have actually seen a letter carrier that was held at gunpoint. We need to make sure that law enforcement is on the case and that any kind of attacks on these letter carriers, that the perpetrators are brought to justice. So that was the conversation. Tony, my letter carrier, I love him. He's there all the time doing a great job delivering the mail. Those of you who have, especially who have regular letter carriers, know how important they are. I also want you to know when you have trouble with the delivery of your mail, be sure and let us know in our office. We like to follow up to make sure that you're getting your mail on time. And I know when I met with the letter carriers, they want to do their best to make sure that the mail arrives, rain, sleet, or snow, that you're going to get your mail. So thanks so much for listening, and I will see you next week for more Pans and Plans. Thank you for watching my video. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, where my handle is @Jan Schakowsky.